So we're here today with Region 1 Vice President, Mr. Luke Drake. Luke, thanks for stopping by today. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Now, for those people out there who may be newer or new to PASS, why don't you tell us a little bit about your history?
Okay, I'm Luke Drake, Region 1 Vice President. I've been the Vice President now for 5 years. I was a Regional Assistant before that for 7 years under 2 different RVPs. Prior to that, I've been held basically every position that PASS has to offer up to this point, including chapter officers and local rep.
So you get quite a bit of experience in the
Been around.
union business. So tell us on a day-to-day, what is the RVP position? What is its responsibilities? What are you handling?
Oh, well, there's no normal day. We respond to calls from all the members in the region with problems. The second level reps are often calling us for grievances, unfair labor practices, dealing with the LMR, dealing with executive board issues, so the running of the PASS organization, also dealing with management, things like the joint leadership team and all of the meetings we have there. So it's a pretty intense job, but it's very rewarding.
That sounds like a lot of work for one guy. How do you get all this done by yourself?
I don't do it alone. Of course, I have 2 assistants, Chuck Siragusa and Mark Dunlap, plus
Okay.
all of the district level reps and all of the chapter officers.
Sounds like quite a support network to get the job done.
It is. It's a big team.
Luke, let's start off with the topic that seems to be in everybody's conversation. You hear about it when you're at the water fountain anyway, and that's our current contract negotiation or a contract that's coming up. What can you tell us about that?
Okay, so the contract team has assembled. Our team from PASS met for 2 weeks recently in Washington to go over the existing contract and all the proposals that we have generated to date. In the future, our team with the FAA team will be getting together to go through some interest-based bargaining training. We're trying a new approach to contract negotiation this year, which is the interest-based bargaining process. So they have 2 weeks of training for that, and then they'll be getting back together for a series of meetings to actually discuss the proposals.
Well, this sounds a lot like what you guys were doing with the JLT earlier, with the different training that was going on with JLT to give you guys different perspectives and whatnot.
Sure, I think that it's somewhat affected by the new collaborative relationship that the agency and PASS have engaged in that is resulting in a different approach to the contract negotiations. I will say that we also have built in there the traditional negotiating process should the interest-based bargaining process not work out.
And as we're going through the contract and whatnot, what is the biggest thing as members that we can do to help with the process?
Oh, well, of course, providing input as to what folks see with the existing contract that they like, also what they see that needs to be maybe modified to help in the future. The most important thing, of course, is to join. If you're not a member now, it's a really critical time to maximize the membership, both so that when we get to the table, the FAA sees the percentage of people who are supporting PASS, and because only members can ratify the contract, so whatever we come out with, it'll only be the membership who gets to say whether that actually becomes the contract for our membership.
And we're not too late. I mean, we're not too far in the process for people to join and still help out. And still
Oh,
be able to-
absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
It's a really good time. As I said, we're still waiting for the teams to get together and begin the interest-based bargaining, so any time is a great time for folks to step up, but this is one of the most critical times for membership.
And the interest-based bargain, that's a big difference from last time, I take it.
It is certainly. It implies that both sides are interested in hearing what the positions of the other side are without attachments to their final position or a lot of the standard or traditional negotiating processes will hopefully be more positively affected by an interest-based bargaining scenario. It is our first time trying this, which is again why we've built in alternative methods should that not work out. But we're really hopeful that we're dealing with an entirely new team of negotiators on both sides, and the HRLR environment has improved significantly to where the agency is not only talking about collaborative efforts, but they're putting their money where their mouth is, and they're actually engaging collaboratively with us on a number of fronts, and I think that'll be reflected in the negotiations.
You know, Luke, there's a question I wanted to ask, and I'm not trying to question the whole judgment or it was the process and how we selected our members. I didn't see anything put out or whatnot or any kind of solicitation for interest.
Right. We didn't publicize in the past what previous past administrations, if you will, have done is they would send out a list of volunteers for a contract negotiation, and then they'd select from that list. This was different in that we were asked for a particular skill set from our national president, and those included in those skill sets were folks who had experience negotiating at the national level in the past. So I made the choice to use Chuck and Ken because both of these gentlemen have led teams for us in the past and are, in my estimation, the most experienced we have at this sort of thing. And I think, given how long this last contract has lasted us, it was supposed to be 5 years, we're now well over 10. I think it's very crucially important that we have folks in there who know what they're doing. They've seen what the agency has attempted in the past, and they're prepared.
They've been around the block a little bit.
They've been around the block, and they're prepared to look after all of our best interests.
You know, Luke, another question that I had, and we've gotten a lot of feedback on this. It's the pay system specifically, talking about new hire pay, the pay disparity and whatnot. This seems to be a hot topic of late, and I know quite a few people want to see this talked about, concerning the contract. I was wondering if you had anything you wanted to say.
So there's a long history to how we got where we're at, and of course we get feedback continuously in the region and across the country from folks who were hired after the implementation of the last contract, where the pay was changed, the hiring rates were changed. We were moved to an entirely new pay system. There are a lot of reasons that disparity exists, and there are a lot of reasons that was exacerbated over time. Among them was that the agency didn't really fulfill their part of the deal. The bands were supposed to slide every year. The administrator was supposed to make adjustments that would move that pay band to the right. And for many years, that did not happen. And so the band widened. The difference between the people who've been in for a long time and those just coming in widened. And the perception is that, well, folks will never be able to catch up to the pay of the folks who had been in longer.
Well, so the guys that are coming in right now are coming in under a pay band that hasn't been adjusted for quite a while, is what you're saying? Right.
It hasn't been adjusted. And I'll say, when the pay band was brought into the FAA, there's another perception is that we in past had a choice about whether or not we would go to this new band or whether we could stay under the GS pay system. Well, the fact is we didn't have a choice. There was, as we were talking about earlier, there was a law enacted, and Congress chose to pull certain agencies out of the GS pay scale and do this pay for performance experiment, which is where this pay banding system came from.